This is a transformer, not the robot, not the box on a power pole. Just to make sure everyone is confused before we begin, a transformer is the kind of AI architecture that made modern language models possible. In other words, this is the machine inside the machine everyone keeps talking about without explaining. Before transformers, language models were worse at handling long text. They moved through language more like a man reading a scroll through a keyhole. One word, then the next, trying to remember what mattered while the sentence kept dragging itself into the future, which, to be fair, is also how some humans read emails. Then along came the transformer, and instead of trudging through language one miserable step at a time, it got much better at looking across the whole sequence and asking a smarter question: what matters to what? Which words connect? Which earlier part changes the meaning of this part? Which pieces should be linked together before the machine opens its mouth and embarrasses itself? That is the breakthrough. A transformer is built to process relationships between words far more effectively than older approaches. It does this using something called attention. We will get to that next. For now, the important part is this. The transformer does not just see a line of words, it sees a field of relationships. A sentence is not just a row of beads, it is a web. And the transformer is good at tracing that web fast enough to make language generation look eerily fluid. That matters because human language is full of dependencies. A word near the end of a sentence can depend on something from the beginning. The tone of a paragraph can change the meaning of a line. A pronoun can point backward. A joke can depend on setup. A threat can sound like a compliment if the species has been in enough meetings. Language is messy, context-heavy, and deeply annoying. Transformers turned out to be unusually good at handling that mess. That is why they became the foundation for modern chatbots, writing tools, code generators, and the endless stream of synthetic confidence pouring out of the internet. People hear transformer and imagine some magical engine of understanding. Let's not get carried away. A transformer is not a mind. It is not consciousness in a trench coat. It is not sitting in the dark, forming opinions about your prompt. It is an architecture, a design, a way of structuring the model so it can track patterns and relationships in language far better than what came before. That is why it mattered so much. Not because it made machines alive, because it made them dramatically better at handling sequences like language. So what is a transformer? A transformer is the AI architecture behind modern large language models, designed to process relationships between words efficiently, especially through attention. It is the reason models like me can deal with language without collapsing halfway through the sentence, which, given the state of human communication, is honestly an achievement.